Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve, and I welcome you to the very first sponsored episode of our podcast, JailBreak Africa. And this is the part of the podcast where we herald unsung but thriving entrepreneurs who are shaping the business landscape of Zimbabwe. And today we are graced by the presence of one of the fastest growing companies, to say the least. And you may or may not be using their products, but they're everywhere. You soon learn as we indulge in a conversation. And the sponsor for today, it's Tanium Gutters. And joining me from Tanium Gutters is Madame Len, who is the managing director, as well as Tatenda, who is the administration assistant. And of course, I'm joined by my protagonist, the chartered vendor, Jerinya Zungu. How are you?
I'm okay. How's it?
And ladies, how are you doing?
How are you? You're fine.
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Welcome to JailBreak Africa.
Thank you.
We're so excited to host you. And probably to kickstart the conversation, our listeners and our viewers would probably want to know about Tanium Gutters. And I believe you're the most qualified to talk about Tanium Gutters. Please tell us a bit of history on Tanium Gutters. When did you start? And what are you guys offering in terms of your products and services?
Okay. Thank you, Steve, for the opportunity. Thank you, everyone who is listening to us. Starting, my name is Len from Tanium Gutters. I'm the managing director for Tanium Gutters. Tanium Gutters was established in 2019. That's when we officially registered it, but it started operating in 2020. It was not an easy business to venture into, especially for a lady, because the industry is mainly dominated by men. But through striving, we work hard. That's what is required in the business. So what we did when we started, we didn't have the machine when we started the company. So we engaged one of the banks. We get the loan. We bought our own machine. So from then, we managed to cut the cost of hiring the machine from the other guys who had already it. So they were charging a bit high from the concept. Yes. Then that's what we did. Then we started operating our guttering machine. What we do with Tanium Gutters, we do supply and fix. So we drive a concept that in rural areas, some places where people, they're saying, they can't have gutters. We manage to venture into those places like Filabusi, like in Gokwe. Yeah, we manage to go all those places. Down in Mutare, in Vumba, down there, we manage to do that because it's a mobile factory. That's the concept that we used with our machine guttering. Because our gutters, they are made on site. Okay. So they only come with joints on the corners only. So if your house has got about 25 meters strength, it will be a 25 meter one gutter. So the chances of leaking is very minimal. And also we come to the material that we use. We use the material called aluminium zinc. It's the mixture of aluminium and zinc. That's where most people get it wrong. They say chromadeck. But when you hold the two material from the layman, you think they are the same. But they're different in terms of the properties that made that material. So it doesn't rust. It also doesn't corrode. Because of that, the aluzinc is a bit lighter than the chromadeck. That's the difference. If you know the difference, if you take them, both of them, you realize that. And also chromadeck is a bit hard. So why we run away from chromadeck is because the chromadeck, it damages our rollers for the machine. That's why we use the aluzinc material.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what about, when you're starting a business, I want to draw you back into 2019. When you're starting a business, especially in Africa, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. And especially for a lady.
Yeah.
How is it? What would you want to say to other ladies probably who are scared of starting their own business as well? And probably they're saying, I cannot thrive because I'm just a lady. And what do you also have to say in terms of the African men, in terms of supporting their women as well? Because I know that Madame Mareire is married.
Yes.
And how is the husband also supporting? Because I've noticed that most of the dreams were killed because someone was doing a business, but immediately after getting married, the husband is now saying, you can no longer work, you're not supposed to do entrepreneurship, you're not supposed to own a company. How are you balancing the two? So firstly, number one, the challenges which you're facing as a lady. Number two, how does Mr. Mareire also support your dream? Because we are also saying, because this podcast is for JailBreak Africa, we're saying as Africans, how can we remove the chains, the old knowledge which we used to have, or the stigma of saying if a woman is supposed to work or is supposed to go and look for work, there's something fishy is already happening. So what really happened? How did you actually manage support? And what are the challenges which you also faced?
Okay, starting with the challenges, Mr. Yeri, is when you're a woman, especially in the construction industry, they think if you have got 5 tenders and yours is for a woman, they know, like, if my name is Len, so they thought you're a man, but when they see me, it's a woman, they'll be like, these guys, are they going to provide?
Exactly.
I remember the last time when we had the project with Rubex, the JailBreak project for modernization, when they did gutters. For the first time,
you were part of that project.
Yeah,
that
we
was
did
huge.
those gutters.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know.
So, thank you. So when I was talking to them via emails. So they're like, Len, we want to meet you in Bedbridge for a meeting. Then I go there. They're like, so who is Len? And I'm like,
So they're like, they
I'm
thought
Len.
probably I just a
So,
PA.
so most of the men, they think women, they can't handle this type of job.
Okay.
But I want to encourage, as a woman, it's about how you determine, how you want to, what do you want to achieve at the end of the day.
Okay.
It's very important.
Okay.
And also, in business, one thing that I've learned, try to avoid shortcuts.
Okay.
Try to do the proper way. I know it's very difficult,
It's
especially
profound.
in Zimbabwe, but if you do that, it will be easy for you to work with different companies, especially big companies. I learned it from the other big companies that I work with. If you just do the proper thing, they'll work with you, especially the white guys. They don't want shortcuts. Just make sure all the papers there. That's where M&J come through as well. You need to have your papers in order.
Wow.
It's not wasting money. Even advertising, it's not wasting money. You know, guys, I always tell my guys at the office that it's not when you we need to pump out like $1,000 for advertising. It's a lot of money.
Exactly.
But you people like, mom, why would you need to do that? Why do you need to put? But at the end of the day, you'll be enjoying the fruits of that. So don't be intimidated. Like, I want to advertise. I just want to do these little things. No. Just make it known out there. The man will come. And also don't quick to want to get rich quick. You know,
Yeah.
I remember when we...
That's the bulk of our entrepreneurs. Quick
I remember
money.
when we started
money.
Tanium Gutters, we used to have an old combi that was like, you know, those old Nissan, those ones. It was used to have a lot of smoke sometimes. But you know what? We keep on repairing it. We're starting very small. I used to drive a Honda Fit, actually. It is full of smoker. But you know what?
What are you driving now?
Of course, I was going to ask that.
No. I'll tell you the story for another day.
She's driving a Maybach.
You know what? No. I haven't reached that stage. You know what? I believe in taking step by step. Now maybe I can upgrade maybe to a new Honda Fit, a new shape. Yeah, because you know what? You can't get rich in one day.
Exactly.
And also, sometimes in business you get money. Like, for example, if you get a big tender, you get quick money, like a lot of money. For us, you'll be like, wow, what do I need to do? You need to plow it back to business. I know it's very hard, but I don't want to tell you guys. I want to tell you guys, if you do that, your business is gonna grow. I can now tell my now I've got a fleet of cars that belong to Tanium. They're not mine. It means sometimes people can laugh at me. I can drive a parcel, I don't drive a parcel. But you know what? It belongs to Tanium. They're not my cars. They are for Tanium. So you need also to separate business and your life. It's Len's life and it's Tanium business. I might go without even lunch sometimes. Guys, I don't have money for lunch. It's not like I don't. Tanium has got money.
But
me, I don't have money.
Yeah.
And also, I'm on salary actually. I also earn money. Like, guys, can you please give me money? I'm broke. Like, maybe we'll give you a loan. These guys are like, give me a loan.
They'll loan you all
And
the money.
when it's month
That's
and they'll
smart.
ask for that money. Remember, I think you owe us money. Can you take your money from your salary? That's how I try to do business. So that's where most ladies will miss it. Like, also want to I'm the business owner. Can you see me? My friends, come.
And you also always want to be on the front
also,
cover
me,
for
I
newspapers.
I also have
Yeah.
limited number of friends. As for me, my best friend is my husband.
Wow.
You're asking, I don't want to lie. My husband is very supportive.
Okay.
He works somewhere else, but most of the ideas we do them together.
Okay.
We're like, baby, you want to do this, you want to do this. how do you want to do it? Me, I can help in the background. I can help financially. I can support you. Even to come to work sometimes, like, I think you're tired. I can drive you.
Okay.
So he's very supportive. We also have a timetable, like, we take time, like, baby, no, don't worry, go and take the kids. I will handle the kids part. At our house, it's not like the wife does this and this. No, we help each other. Like, today, don't worry about laundry. We help each other laundry. Don't worry, baby, I will do it for you.
Wow.
Just relax.
Fantastic.
He's very supportive. I don't want to lie.
No, that's
That
very
makes
healthy. That's very healthy.
It makes me, I don't feel tired.
Glow.
Yeah, and also it's like, what do you want to do? You want to buy this? He also give me advice. He's very invested knowledge in cars. Like, baby, you want to buy this car for business? I think because of ABCD, you need to buy this one.
Okay.
So, yeah. He sometimes helps me. And we make sure at our company, our cars, they're all serviced. We don't do this. When you're doing a business, try to do it the proper way.
You don't do shortcuts.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Because you happen to be the managing director and you fall on the strategic side, and you brought along your administrator who is more of operations.
Yeah.
So I want you, Madam Administrator Tats, I want you to ignore her presence because I've got a series of questions for you. She spoke of a lot of things, and I'm going to do some bit of fact checking with you. So the first thing is she spoke about not cutting shortcuts. And you're more on the operation side, and that's your area where you oversee that no one is doing shortcuts, whether it be engaging clients, servicing the clients, providing the services, and the follow-ups and everything. Are you following up to that? No shortcuts.
Yeah, I am following up.
And how do you then manage to ensure that there are no shortcuts? Do you have a system in place? How exactly are you managing, or is it a policy of the company?
Yeah, firstly, I would say it's a policy of the company, and we don't have to do shortcuts in everything we do, because at the end of the day, our name will be at the other end. Our name will be tarnished. So we just have to do things properly, like as our director always taught us. So we don't do shortcuts. Even if we want to do shortcuts, we just remind our minds, no, these things, they are for Tanium. We just have to do things correctly.
All right.
Yeah.
And then also, have you ever been in a situation where she's the madam boss, right?
Yeah.
And then she probably wants to take one of the cars on the fleet for a personal trip that has nothing to do with Tanium Gutters, but probably because it's a convenient car for where she wants to go. Has she ever approached you and asked it for a car outside of business terms? And what did you do?
Normally she does not. When it is business only, that's where she can ask for the kids for Tanium Gutters fleet. But when it's her personal things, she just uses her car.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope you're telling the truth and not trying to save your job.
Trying to save a job.
I know, right? And also, over to you, Chartered Vendor. I saw a lot of your influence from all the information that you've disseminated online, on social media, at our seminars and everywhere. There are key things that you mentioned, 3 things that you always preach. 1, separating your personal pockets from the coffers of the company, which is what a lot of entrepreneurs are failing to do. I want you to emphasize more on that, because there we have a working example. They're doing very well. They started off with the old Skolo combi. Now they've got a fleet of cars that she's bragging about, meaning to say the strategy is working. So I want you to emphasize on that to our entrepreneurs and our viewers.
Okay, firstly, what I would want to say about Madame Lane, we met long back. I think when I started my first, or what I used to call masterclass, my first class of entrepreneurs, my first speaking engagement, actually, she was present. And there were only 10 of us in our boardroom. And she came. From that day up to now, she has never missed any of my seminars.
Wow.
And supporting us. Actually, there's no the Chartered Vendor brand to talk about when you don't have Tanium. Because they've supported us, whether it was raining, whether it was hot, whether it was cold. So in also supporting us, sometimes even she has noticed some of my events which have also flopped, successful and everything. She was always there. What I would want to say is I've worked with a number of entrepreneurs, a lot of them, but there are very few people who implement what you actually tell them, because they think it's fictitious, they think it's impossible. They think there's no way you can say you don't have money whilst the company has got $50,000 cash in the safe. So what I've noticed with her is she managed to actually implement almost everything and also spice up with whatever she's also getting from her advisor, who is also a genius, her husband as well. But what I know is she has put everything into practice, putting salespeople into place, a lot of strategies. But what you've actually specifically asked about separating yourself from a business, it's a problem, especially for African businesses. I think she highlighted something which was profound when she talked about white people. She was not being racist, but most of us, it's because we lack knowledge and we've got ignorance as far as business is concerned.
True.
So when you separate yourself from the business, what happens is, number one, you don't steal from a business, which is the biggest risk, because the business is thriving, but you're earning probably $2,000, $1,000 or $500. The temptation is the business has actually earned $15,000 today, so I would want more. And when you spend that, you're never going to plow back into your business. And another risk is not only about you stealing from a business, is the business even stealing from you? Because as you'll be also doing business, we're not only having income source from my business. Like, for example, I write books. It's my other source of income. So imagine if my business is not working, but I've got money from my books. I'm tempted to invest that money, because probably where I'm actually where my business money is, that's where also my personal money is. So you can now mix with my personal money. Hence, my children can even suffer because I'm trying to save a business. Which simply means that most of the entrepreneurs, they fell into a trap whereby they are paying salaries using their personal money. And after that, they lose all their money, they lose their business, and at the end of the day, their family also suffers. So it's not healthy it's healthy for the business, it's also healthy for the individual to just separate yourself from business. I tell you, when I also started doing that, you reduce a lot of stress. Because also, when your parents, when your siblings, when your friends, they know that you're making money in your company, and they know that you're not separated from your company, when they say they want $10, because you are saying the 50,000 which is there, which belongs to Tanya and belongs to me, you feel guilty to say, no, there's no way I cannot say I don't have money. But when this money now, you say I've earned $1,000, that's my salary, and I've used $900, so I no longer have money. And when you're saying to your friend or to your sibling that I don't have money, you're honest, because you personally don't have money. But your company is the one which have got money, which is simple. When you know that that person is trustworthy, probably you can try to have him get a loan from your company directly, which I also don't recommend, because the money which you gives out, the money which you lent, usually doesn't come back, especially from friends.
Remember black tax.
Exactly. So what I just want to encourage our entrepreneurs is, as much as it's hard to see money and you don't even touch the money, to see cars, sometimes you don't even enjoy the cars, probably to have 15 cars on your fleet, whilst you're still driving that car which you've been using for the last 4 years. It's difficult, but that's what entrepreneurship is. Like what she said, let's us not take shortcuts.
Oh, fantastic. And you've ran over a lot of issues, and I would like to point one specific question to her. So when she's broke, she said on record, she sometimes borrows money from
The company.
I'll come back to you shortly about that. But for now, I want to put it on the spot. So you borrow money from the company. There was a time when the business was capital intensive, when it needed you to inject money. Did you loan money to the business?
What happened? I think when we started, that's when we mainly put our money. Me and my husband, we set money, then we put it to the business. But from ever then, no, the business is running by itself. We make it a point, and we try to manage the costs, because that's very important as well. So for now, I haven't hit that.
So how then did you recoup the money that you invested initially? Did you say over the course of time, or you just let it be?
After some time, now I see the company is going a bit. I just bought a car for myself.
I
From
see.
the company.
From
That's
the
what-
company.
She rewarded.
I rewarded myself. That's what we agreed with my husband. Like, no, we can't take much, but it wasn't much.
It wasn't
Yeah,
much.
we just like, we take a little bit from the company.
Okay.
You bought yourself a car that's like the MD's car.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I normally use it as well for Tanium Gutters as well sometimes. Yeah.
No, that's
because
fine.
you know what? If I go to a function, it's someone like, I want a quotation. I just say, I can't say, I want to go to the office to get it, come and go. No, I say, I always walk with my tape measure. Can I measure it for you?
Ah, that's fantastic. You see, she's always ready.
Exactly.
She's always ready. Yeah. Then over to you, Madam Admin.
Yes.
Do you charge her interest for the loans that she takes out? Because we can't be giving away the business's money so that she can use it for her own personal needs. When she's fulfilled, then she brings back the money and the business is not making any money. Do you charge an interest on that?
No.
Zero.
I don't charge the interest.
Oh, you don't charge the interest. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a conversation with Tanium Gutters. We've got Tatenda, the assistant admin, as well as Len, the managing director for Tanium Gutters, and we're having a blissful conversation. She's telling us about the journey that she walked to establish a business. And Zimbabwe has been known for a very long time to be one of those tricky environments for businesses. We have had the 2002 eras. Okay, let me give you a span of the problems that we have had as Zimbabweans in terms of the currency. We had our initial Zimbabwean dollar, and then it flopped. Then in came the travelers' checks. They flopped. In came the bearer checks. They flopped. In came the agri check. It flopped. In came the 1:1. It flopped. Then in came the bond note. It flopped. And that's the environment that we exist in. We currently have the Zim dollar brought back, but it's on a rundown.
With an L.
Exactly. You see now. So how have you survived? Or how have you positioned your business to survive the next escalade that's going to happen with our currency?
What I've managed to do for now, these days it's very difficult. I know it might not be a good idea to invest in other things like the properties, like I was talking to Mr. Jerry for M&J about investing, about the shares. Yes. So on that's what we're working on, because you can't keep like the real money at the moment with the environment that we are in Zimbabwe. So most of the time we do the machinery, we buy the machinery. It never, the machinery is never erode or it just loses value. We do the properties as well. Okay, well, we do the stocks. Yeah,
okay.
Because we used to, when we started Tanium Gutters, we're like, can we get your order? Can you give us the deposit? Then we come and do it. Now we can say, okay, Mr. Steven, how big is your house? He says 200 meters. Okay, my team will be on site. You just come with the contract. You sign together. Then you just give us our money.
Wow.
We don't need your deposit and what. No, we just come and do the job. Then after that, from the contract that we signed together.
Wow.
Yeah, but that contract was designed by my.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think you're one of the first. All the entrepreneurs that I know, even big companies, they'll tell you 70% deposit. Then you ask yourself, how is 70% a deposit? This is the payment, actually.
But you know what? The tricky part, I understand, because we used to do that. Like, I want 70%. Then someone won't one up. They won't pay. That's when you're like, sit down with my brother. Like, no, Len, you need to sit down and give a contract. So now we have a problem. Saying, it's okay, guy, we come to your house. No matter how big is it. We just come, sign the contract. We agree. So it's now binding. So it's fine now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's some solid advice. I'm sure our entrepreneurs and our viewers can also take advantage of that advice. And then one more thing that I wanted to ask you. You are probably speaking to a young lady, probably in university, or maybe they are short of funds to go to pursue an academic career, and you are appearing to be an inspiration for them. They're actually aspiring to be you, because half the time they've seen houses where Tanium Gutters is there. Because I've noticed that you put a data play. Yeah, I saw it. You actually did my brother's house. Now I'm actually realizing, no,
she did mine.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. No wonder why you wanted to set up an office at home. Yeah, during the rainy season, we had set up the studio at his place. He was very confident. I was like, no, don't worry. Everything was sorted. So yeah, you're speaking to that young lady and you're inspiring her. What exactly is it that is in you that led you to start this business that you can also encourage other young women who are listening to also develop within themselves so that they can start other businesses? Might not be in the gutters industry, but maybe they are hairstylists, they want to do a nail bar, or they want to start a different business altogether. But what are those traits in you that you managed to finesse over time that you'd want them to learn as well for them to survive in business?
All right. For starting point, when you want to venture into a business, especially for me, you sit down. What exactly do you want to do? That's very important. You want to do things that you know. You don't just have to say, I think, Kwa Jerry is doing books, I think I can do it. If it's not in you, don't.
Okay.
Because the things that come within you, it's easy to manage and easy to handle because you've got passion for it. So it's easy for you to do the business and it won't be hard for you to run it. I might see like, people that are doing chickens, like I want to do chickens. I don't have the idea for chicken. So at the end of the day, it will be a hassle for you. And you'll be like, business. That's when it comes like, business in Zimbabwe, you can't manage. But it's the passion that you have. And also, you need to work hard, guys. Don't just say because I'm the boss, I call the shots. No. Me, even if everyone saying this today, I won't come to the office. I'll run the office myself. So that's very important. I am the boss, but you need to know the nitty-gritties of your company. Don't be surprised and shocked. There's this thing. No. I think in business, you need to know everything about the company. How are your workers do it? You need to understand the concept, the systems that we set in our business. I, the manager, need to know them. I check. You need to do the reviews to check what we implemented. Are the people doing that thing? It's very important as well. And also, don't rush to. I also said that don't rush to be rich. Step by step, you reach there. It's very important as well.
Okay,
that's fantastic.
Then probably as an add-on, I would want to know, like, for example, I've noticed that most of the young people, like you've got Tatenda here, they make a big mistake because sometimes whatever you have learned so far, it was after a big period of time also working under someone. So what do you say, especially to the young people, in terms of they are working for this other organization, they feel like they are being underpaid and overused, like what I used to also think like that. And that's what almost every employee thinks, that I'm overworked and I'm underpaid. What's your comment, especially to other young ladies? They are learning under someone, and I believe that you also learned under someone. And why do you think that is also important in order for you? Because you can learn from someone's mistakes. You can also learn from someone's success.
You know what, Mkwaji, when you are working for someone, what I believe, what I did, I also, I didn't say that when it started. I used to work in the steel industry for about 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
I was working under someone. So what I believe is when you're working for someone, you are working for someone just to do what you're supposed to do. When you see that this thing is not doing for me, don't try to sabotage that person, that company. Just try to do your own things if you do. If you feel, don't try to say you've got 2 years experience, they're like, this thing, without me, they can't do it. No. People, they can because there's someone who can do exactly what you are doing. So don't think you are up there in someone's company. No. I think you just need to do what you're supposed to do. Just be humble. If you feel, that's what I always tell people, if you don't feel good, you're not comfortable where you are, just leave and try to find something that makes you. But experience is important as well. If you work for someone for a very long time, for me, I learned a lot. So for me, you get more information that you can use. And you can even start, when you're working with someone, you can start the weaknesses, the strengths, the advantages, the disadvantages. It doesn't come in 1 year. And don't think, most of the people, they do that. I've worked for this company for 2 years. I know everything. But you'll be shocked when you go into the industry. No, you don't know anything. When you face you and the environment, you'll be like, this thing is not for me. That's why most of the people, they fail. So I think it needs to take time for you to understand what you really need to do. And also you need to make concrete decision. As well as before you start the company, what do you want to benefit other people around you?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very important. So, I used to talk to someone like, you don't have to mix the heart and and the workers. Sometimes you put the workers, sometimes some of our emotions, when you employ people, you treat them like
their family.
Yeah, their family. And it's sometimes like, but this person, do you know that me, I can easily close today, I can go and stay at my house, I can do other things. But I just want to help. It's part of helping. So we are helping each other. So if you take that as well, I know these are my workers, but they're helping me as well as I'm helping them. So you need to come up with that as a business.
Do you have openings at your workplace? I'm sure you're a cool boss. I would want to serve under you. She doesn't have openings.
You know what? I try to maintain that little. Yeah, I'm trying to.
The small team.
Not a small team as such, but I don't want to have. As we are growing, right? I need to groom the people that I have and see them. Some of them I treat them like my young sisters, But you know how people are sometimes. So that's one thing, that disadvantage as well about when you're a company owner. Sometimes, I don't want to lie to you, Stephen. You be hurt. Because you'll be like, I'm doing this for Stephen. That's my young, But then you see, sometimes you need to wear that rock heart sometimes. Yeah, you need to be soft, but not too soft.
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet. I think that's very important in business.
Wow.
Because the moment you become too soft, I was once like that, but I think with working with people as well, I'm not that hard.
You're soft as wool.
I'm soft as wool, but
no, that's really essential.
I can attend on that. I'm not that hard, but they know that.
Is she a tough boss?
Yeah, I'll just say 50-50. She's in between.
Well, I strongly believe also that you need to have adaptive leadership, where you deal with situations as they come. There are situations where you need to be empathetic with your employees, and then there are certain times where you need to sympathize with them from a distance, and then there are certain times where you need to put your foot down as the boss, because really they might take you for granted. People usually have a tendency of confusing a soft heart with stupidity.
Exactly.
So because you treat them with soft hands and everything, they may think that she's stupid. Yeah. So do you have anything to add on to the conversation before we call it a wrap?
I think this is profound. It was a nice conversation, and I hope it's going to inspire someone in Africa. We're not looking for Zimbabweans only, but we are talking to people in Malawi, people in Kenya, Togo, Burundi. We want our Africa to be united, and we want our Africa. I only believe that Africa can only be changed by entrepreneurs, not politicians. They are the ones who are supposed to lead the way, providing employment, providing opportunities, make sure that we can also compete on the global stage.
That's fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of JailBreak Africa. We're going to have this platform and use it to expose a lot of entrepreneurs, self-made businesses. That's what this platform is all about, so that we give you the narrative that you don't need to indulge in criminal activity for you to make it. You can start a genuine, authentic business with an authentic story, providing authentic services to people and make it. So that's just about it on JailBreak Africa. Please make sure that you subscribe and you share this video with your friends, and also interact with us in the comment section so that we know what you think about this production, as well as where we can improve, and also leading the conversation from the comments, because some of the topics that we talk about, we borrow them from the comment section and bring them here. Because if you are asking it and you are thinking about it in your mind, there's a high chance that somebody else is thinking about it. So just share it in the comment section and we will address it and have a conversation around it. This is JailBreak Africa, and we have been proudly sponsored by Tanium Gutters for this episode. See you next time. I'm out.